Do you know what you're feeding your hops? Folks, it's really important to know what the pH of the water is that you are feeding to your hops. Hey, my name is Max Raphael from Hops World, and today we're going to show you how to test the pH of your water. Let's do it. Hey folks, I'm glad you could return to us. Today we're going to show you how to test the pH of your water. What is pH? Well, you can go back and check our first video, tip number 1. We will put a link at the end of this video. But quickly, pH is important for us hops growers because if you look at the tablet here, it shows the certain pH that all the nutrients can be absorbed into our hops plants. And in our case, we use 6.5 pH for our water and our soil. So it's important to know the pH of the water that you use to give to your hops plants. So today we're going to show you how to test the pH of your water. So quickly, we're going to use two simple methods. They both work fine. The first is with the little strips. They sell these simple little kits. When you open the kit, they have the color chart, the scale of pH from 0 to 14. And inside it's almost like a book of matches. You pull off a little strip, you stick it into your solution, in our case water. You pull it out and you compare the color to the color on the little chart. The other way we're going to test is with drops. These little kits you can buy in any pet shop that sells aquarium equipment. These are the same kits they use for aquariums. So they're real simple to get, a few dollars, probably less than $5. A little kit comes with a solution pre-made and a little glass vial. So we fill the vial halfway up with our water, and then we put 3 drops of the solution, mix them with the water. It'll change color, and we compare it. In the little bottle here has a graph, although it only goes from 4.0 up to 8.5. If your water's out of that range, you probably don't even want to think about using it, but we can compare it to the graph here, which has all the colors, if need be. So we're going to do tests today with these two products. The other product that I'm going to show you is electronic tester. They sell these online. They start at about 20 bucks. They go up to thousands of dollars, I'm sure, in certain laboratories if you want super precise measurements. A decent, real good one that most people use that are serious spend about 80 bucks, up to 100, 120. Some of them actually give you the ppms, most of them also, but what we're looking for right now is the pH. With these electronic testers, one thing that we must do, and it's a good thing to do with any of the testers, even the drops, and even the little matchsticks, I call them, paper testers, is to do a test with a known pH of something. For example, distilled water at 25 degrees Celsius at room temperature basically is 7.0. So if you take one of your strips and put it in distilled water, if it matches 7.0, you know you're pretty good. You could test lemon or lime, which is 2.0 or really close. It's nice to test actually something very acidy, something very basic or alkaline, and something neutral. But with these electronic testers, you have to actually calibrate and make sure they test correctly. If they do test correctly, you don't have to calibrate. But if they don't, they have a button where you can calibrate it right to 4.0 or whatever you want to test. I actually bought a kit. It comes with 3 little bottles. One Veracity 4.0, and it's red. One blue or purple, which is 10.0, alkaline. And then 7.0 is neutral, which is the same as distilled water. This is a liquid kit that I bought online because I use a lot. Normally these electronic testers come with a little kit, and in this case the kit is little packets of powder. And this kit is 4.0. This is 6.86, which is about neutral 7. And then 9.18, which is alkaline. You mix these with distilled water and make a solution, and you test your electronic tester. I suggest minimally the strips. They do have an expiration date, and I think the bottle too. So look at that and test them minimally once before you use them. And if you don't use them for 6 months or a year, definitely find something to test them with. If it's not a lemon and distilled water, it's great to buy a little kit and test them once. So now the tests we're going to do. First, we're going to test lemon. Real simply with the strips. We can just touch the lemon. And you can see how red it turned. Wow, it's amazing. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to pull the lemon out here. Let you see. How quickly we can tell the pH when we touch the lemon with the paper. Instantly turns 2.0 red. So next, we're going to do a test using the drops. Now the pH scale on the little jar doesn't go up or down to 2.0, so we will leave this scale here out. I'm going to try to squeeze enough lemon juice into our little vial. Okay, we got a little bit of pulp there, but that's okay. As you can see, it's liquid, semi-clear, a little bit of yellow as you would expect from a lime. But let's see what happens when I drop 3 drops of our solution and see if it changes color. As you can see on the chart here, 2.0 is pretty much red. 1, 2, 3, wow, look at that. That's amazing. That's really cool. So, that's pretty red. Maybe even 1.0. We all knew lime is acidy. Now we proved it. So, now we know the pH of our water. What if it's not 6.5 or 7.0 or 6.8? What do? Well, we adjust it. Well, how do we do that? Well, stay tuned for tip number 1B, where we adjust the pH of our water. Okay, folks, so now you know how to test the pH of the water that you're feeding your hops. If you want to know a little bit about the history of pH, check out our last tip, tip number 1. This is tip number 1A. Shortly we will have tip number 1B on how to adjust the pH of your water. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Click on the link for the last tip. If you like, please put like, share with your friends. We're going to put lots of tips all about hops. Thanks again, my friends. Cheers to life.